Oh, all you lucky people in petrol-powered cars polluting the environment, but geez, I bet you don't have the anxiety that I do right now. It was only about a decade ago that Mazda announced to the world that they weren't particularly interested in making hybrid or electric cars and were instead going to concentrate on making internal combustion engines that were 30% more efficient. Well, times change, and now they've done both, and this is their first EV, the Mazda MX-30, and it's a fantastic piece of design with great technology. What's wrong with it? Well, just about everything else. Let's start with the good stuff. This is outwardly a very attractive subcompact SUV. Mazda's Kodo design language is at its absolute peak with this car, especially here at the front with the front grille, which is actually functioning. They haven't blanked it off or put some weird plasticky stubby nose over the front of the car. They've made it look like a proper car, and that gets big points in my book. And these light clusters with the chrome accents over the top here look great too. Moving to the side, and you can see more of this fantastic tritone paint job with silver on the top here and black on the roof. A very nice embossed Mazda logo here on this chrome accent with just a little cheap looking sticker here to tell you that this car is indeed electric. The wheels look really good too. At the back we've got these light clusters which look like the ones in the Mazda MX-5, and they feature actually one of my favourite features of the whole car, which is weirdly the turn indicators, because they kind of pulse on, like they come on really quickly and then fade out slowly. It's a very subtle but kind of cool effect. Under the boot lid we get a 311 litre cargo space, which is not huge, but the floor is flat. There's no spare tyre, but you do get a tyre repair kit. Just like its rival, the Kia Niro, the MX-30 also comes as a petrol hybrid. So underneath the hood here, there is a lot of empty space here in the engine bay because there's just the electric motor here and, well, not much else. This motor outputs 107 kilowatts of power and 271 newton meters of torque. It's not the quickest EV around, but it does the job. The interior of the MX-30 is a definite high point. This is one of the nicest interiors I've seen in any new car recently. It uses a terrific range of sustainable materials, including cork, which has been taken from the bark of a 200-year-old tree. There's recycled material up here on the doors. There's soft touch plastics with stitching. The seats feature faux leather accents called Maztex, which is again also from a sustainable material. So all up, this interior is one of the best you'll find in any new car. It is really good. The center console screen is 8.8 inches. It's a widescreen and it features brand new software on it, which is a terrific update on Mazda's old infotainment system software. The images on it are very, very sharp, especially from the reversing camera. In fact, it's one of the best I've seen in any car recently. And it also features Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but you will need a USB cable to use them. It's connected to a 12-speaker Bose sound system, which actually sounds really, really good. Moving down the console, it seems that Mazda has been inspired by Audi because they've given us a touch screen to run the climate control system with. It's really, really simple to use. There's no haptic touch, unfortunately, but there are shortcut buttons here on the outside if you prefer to use those instead. The gear shifter is a little bit of a strange affair because park is often to the right up here and you have to shift it to the left and down to put it into reverse or drive. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Then we've got the jog wheel here for the center console screen, the park brake button and the auto hold for the brake. And then we come down to the cork that I mentioned before, covering these cup holders, and they flip upwards, and that gives you sort of an enclosed space here for the center console, or you can flip them down if you want to keep your phone there perhaps. And we've got a good sized bin here underneath the faux leather armrest. Head-up display on the windshield works well, and then we've got a hybrid analog digital instrument cluster, and I just wonder why, with so many new electric cars appearing on the market, a lot of them have analog dials. Surely with electric cars being the future and high tech and that kind of thing, why do so many of them have instrumentation clusters that essentially date back to the steam age? It's puzzling. The left-hand one shows you how much power you're drawing from the battery and how much you're charging it as you drive. The right-hand one has your battery level indicator and also the temperature of the battery cooling system. The center screen is your speedo and can also be rotated through various trip computer functions. This steering wheel is new and it has a fantastic feel to it. It's leather wrapped with stitching, and I really love these buttons. They have such a great look and feel to them, and I'd love to see this steering wheel in the MX-5 convertible. Actually, it has that kind kind of a feel to it. There's a couple of paddles at the back which control the regenerative drive system. The seats are very comfortable. They're cloth with the Maztex leather accents, and there's electric adjustment for the driver, manual adjustment for the front passenger, and both seats are heated as well as the steering wheel. The doors feature this recycled material up here on top, and faux leather armrests here actually make it very, very comfortable. We've got a sunroof up there, plenty of headroom and good visibility out the front, not too good in the blind spots. So that's the good stuff. Now, let's get on with the not so good stuff in the MX-30, and it starts with the suicide doors, or freedom doors as Mazda calls them. Now, if I want to let a backseat passenger in behind me and I've got my seatbelt on, I can't open the rear door unless I open this door first. So opening this door, that's fine, but open this rear door and it's taking my seatbelt with it, and they can't get in. It's completely blocked. So doing all of that, I might as well just get out of the car to let them in. Well, as you can see, it's not really easy to get into the back of the MX-30 for someone as tall as me. Now, I can move the seat forward and backwards here with these buttons, but that's not really great for the driver in front of me if they're my height. I'm 190 centimeters tall. The seats are quite comfortable, but it is pretty dark back here, mainly because of these tiny little windows here and on the door as well. There's no rear air vents, no USB chargers, and no headroom either. It's actually quite low. So the armrest though does have two cup holders in it, and my son was resting his head on it the other day and said it was quite comfortable, which yeah, it feels pretty soft. But I think all up, unfortunately, rear seat passengers in the MX-30 are very much second class passengers. But the main issue with this car is the battery life. Mazda claims 224 kilometers on a full charge. When I picked up this car 5 days ago, it had a full charge and the indicator showed only 184 kilometers of range available. And it went downhill pretty quickly from there. With the car running very low on battery yesterday, I went to no less than 7 car parks dotted around Sydney's lower North Shore, trying to find one that I could plug into to get at least some charge into the car. Now, unfortunately, this car doesn't come with a charging cable that you can plug into a high-speed charger. It only comes with a charger that you can plug into a regular 240 volt socket at home. So that severely limits where I can charge this car. Okay, so I've been to 4 car parks in 2 suburbs looking for electric car charging. One of them didn't seem to have any charging at all. 2 of them had chargers but no cables to plug into this car. I finally found one that has a cable, and I'm putting my card on here.
Operating. Please present your card or your mobile phone.
I just presented my card. Why do I need to present it again? Why won't you just charge? It's not working. This is infuriating. I did find 2 car parks with charging stations with the right type of cables, but I could not get either of them to work. One charged me a fortune for absolutely nothing, and the other one led to me being on the phone to a lovely woman in America for about 20 minutes who said that she could not find her own company's charging station. I even tried their website and it didn't work. I then tried downloading their app and no luck there either. So my advice is, if you're thinking about buying an electric car, get one with a bigger battery, or just move somewhere where you can easily plug your car in every day when you park it in your garage and save yourself this insane anxiety that I've been going through. Well, it's now Monday morning and I've just dropped my kids at school, and I haven't actually driven this car since I filmed my review on Friday because I was too scared to, because the battery level is so low. And now I'm getting warnings on the dash telling me that the high voltage battery is low, charge battery soon. I've got 24 kilometers of range, which is about 15%, and I've probably only got a 10 kilometer drive to drop this car off. So I think I should be okay, providing the traffic isn't too bad. Fingers crossed. I do have to say, this is really a very nice cabin, and if this is an indication of what Mazda's new design language for their interiors is going to be like, then I think they're going to be onto a really good thing here, because this just feels premium and it's original and it's a fresh design. In terms of what this car's like to drive, yeah, it's fine. You can't really do the same sort of one pedal driving that you can do in, say, the Nissan Leaf. because the regenerative braking in this car just isn't quite as strong. You can take your foot off the accelerator in the Leaf and you'll come to a full stop. That doesn't happen here. You will slow down, but you won't completely stop. But like all Mazdas, it does have a good feel behind the wheel. I mean, look, I wouldn't go so far as saying it feels sporty, but it does feel a bit more fun to drive perhaps than, say, a Nissan Leaf or maybe even the Nero. I think this car scores full marks in terms of its driving dynamics. The only thing it does miss out on though is acceleration. It's not a very quick car, so you're not going to get that blistering performance that you get off the mark that you do in a Tesla Model 3. This one's a little bit more steady as she goes. 0 to 100 in the MX-30 is around about 10 seconds, just to give you some idea. In terms of refinement, I would say that this car is indeed extremely refined. It almost feels European actually, and that is a testament to Mazda's build quality. It really is a noticeable step up, especially from Kia, I think. Kia, whilst very good, just doesn't quite nail it as well as Mazda does. It is really comfortable and quiet in here. But of course that does go some way to explaining this car's inflated price tag. So all up, in terms of driving experience, I think you could probably liken the MX-30 to a naturally aspirated 2-litre engine. It's certainly not quick, but, and I wouldn't even go so far as calling it zippy, but it's good. But I just think you can do better for the money. I feel like I've become one of those people who gets really stressed when they're on low fuel in their car. I kind of usually don't fill up the car full of petrol until the warning light comes on, because you think, oh, I'm fine, no problem at all. It's quite a different experience in this though, because I really do get the feeling that once we hit that E, we're completely empty. And I've got another meter telling me that it's just 11% charge left in the battery. It is very weird that Mazda don't supply a cable that you can plug into any charger as a standard feature. You have to buy it as a $260 option. So once you add up the cost of this car, the things that you need to buy just to keep it running, in my case, I would need to get an electrician in to put a power point into my garage, which means actually getting permission from the strata to do it, which is probably not even possible, I'd imagine, without, sort of rewiring the whole building. So unfortunately, for people who live in older style buildings in the middle of the city like me, this type of car just isn't practical. Okay, we're in the home stretch. We're on the last bit of road. It's a long bit of road. It's a couple of kilometers, but according to the dial, I've got 20 k's of range left. I think I'll be all right. But I've been sweating over this all weekend in my mind, planning out, okay, if I drop the kids at school and then I can record the end of this review in the car on the way there, and I hopefully won't run out of battery, although it'd be kind of dramatic if I did. But I think we're gonna make it. In my mind, this is an episode of Top Gear, and Clarkson and Hammond and May are racing across Europe to get to whatever swanky restaurant it is at the end of their journey. But for me, I'm just racing across town trying to not run out of battery. It's not as exciting really, is it? We made it! Oh, I can breathe again. As a first go at an electric car and a proof of concept, the MX-30 does a great job. It's a really good looking car, but as a daily driver, it's somewhat less than successful. I just don't think I can put up with the stress of having to charge this car every 3 days because I can't charge it at home. And for several $1,000s less, you can get the Kia Niro EV, which has all the practicality of a regular compact SUV, only its battery is twice as big, so it goes twice as far. It's a much faster car to drive, and it's a lot cheaper too. So unless you're really wedded to this design or you're a huge Mazda fan, I'd be taking a Kia Niro for a test drive.